Okay, we'll go over a recap of what happened last time. So the previous time before that, the party entered the Vandenberg Manor to find out, what's been going on. Where's Dalmara? Where's Fabius Krieg? What's going on, really? You pick up the infernal cube from one of the Tamara brothers. After that, you go down into the basement where you hear that Tamara is currently residing. You meet a man named Fallister Fisk, who says he is a expert from Candlekeep who works for Silvera Sabicus, who is a expert on the Nine Hells, who is also a Candlekeep. Alistair came here to find out what happened to Elturel. Dalmar did not like that he was snooping around and had him imprisoned into the jail below the villa. You find out where Dalmar is. She was hidden behind a secret door guarded by all sorts of various devils. You question her a little bit, try to decide what you want to do with her. The party's not entirely sure what to do. We were going to discuss that during our short rest here. Rhea wanted to find out where Fabius Krieg is, and Tamara was more than willing to just give that information. Rhea and Elgara find out where he is, have a little conversation. Belgar is contacted by a shield who says they are a celestial hidden within the shield. There are groups of bad people coming after the shield, and the shield says for Belgar to kill Fabius Krieg because he's not who he says to be. There's a little bit of interrogation, very minor interrogation to find out if he's really Fabius Krieg. Rhea's kind of convinced that it is, and she has the party promise that they would not hurt him. Now we are short resting, trying to decide what to do next. That's where we start. Also, the party was given quite a big treasure. I don't think we divided that up yet. And also there were some magic items among them. One thing of note for people who are new to 5th edition, there are magic items with the property known as Attunement. You can only have 3 items with Attunement attuned to you at once. So if you have more than 4 that have Attunement on them, you have to decide which of the 3 you want. It is not an issue right now since you only have 1, but it may come up later. Okay, I'll just put us back under the villa. We'll be in the bottom right on the map. All right, once again, we are short resting. I think it was Belgar who wanted to regain spell slots in order to use detect mind or detect thoughts on either Tamara or on Fabius.
So while we're here short resting, right before we go into the short rest, Belgara asks everybody for any notes or letters or anything of any kind of evidence that they have on their persons to pass over to her. And she also asks Nigel She kind of like pulls him aside because she doesn't want Thalmara or the others in the group to see what's going on, and asks him if he can pass her over the puzzle box as well.
Nigel will use sleight of hand to slip the puzzle box to Belgara.
Perfect. She's gonna kind of take all of these things and go into one of the back cells to herself. And during the short rest, she's just kind of like going through all of the notes that they've found, all of the clues, and kind of like studying the puzzle box as she's trying to regain her energy to be able to use her powers again. We don't get spell slots back for short rest, right, Duro?
Sorcerers do.
Oh.
Sorcerers and I believe sorcerers can. I know warlocks do. It really depends on the class.
I know I think I get sorcery points back on short rest.
Oh, that might be it, actually.
No, that's telling me a long rest.
So you have flexible casting, where if you use sorcery points, you can gain additional spell slots.
Right. I don't remember how many sorcery points I was down to, and it reset them when I leveled, which is a problem.
I don't think you'd use very many. I mean, a couple, but not many.
I think you only used dual cast.
Okay.
That sounds right.
One other note, I believe it was Ruin who wanted to read what was on the infernal box, but didn't have a chance because we were kind of low on time anyways.
Right.
My token isn't here.
Oh, I think you're just hidden underneath someone.
Interesting. Okay, so since I can't get spell slots back, we would have to take a long rest for me to be able to do what I want to do with Detect Thoughts.
I'm fine taking a long rest
Ruin's
if everybody
cool
else
with
is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so Belgara just is she comes out of the cell for a moment and just looks at everybody and says, I need more time. I need more time to look over all of these letters and notes to understand the things I've seen and heard. And I'm just, let's hunker down for the night here, and if everyone's okay with that. Because we, like, basically barred the door, didn't we?
I was gonna suggest to Kari, she would be willing to like take a watch, like a first watch.
Yeah, Ruin would be happy to take a watch too, for sure. Well, maybe not happy, but he'd do it.
Okay, you guys could take a long rest. It'd be kind of weird to do it in a jail cell in the middle of the sewer, but you could.
I think the reasoning for being here, though, is that we don't want to walk around with both Thavius Krieg and Thalmara, because it's a bad fucking look. And if we can, like, hold the fort down in this one spot, it would probably be smarter for us than trying to take these people, like, somewhere out in public.
Hard agree. I think that was our original plan, was to do a long rest before we left last week.
That's what I thought too, but I couldn't remember if it was a long or short rest, because I knew that I needed to get my spell slots back to be able to do what I wanted to do with Detect Magic.
I just think that we run the risk of getting surrounded here in this location if we don't move.
That's a fair assumption. Where would we go?
I think that risk is certainly valid, but I think the risk of moving around with these people is higher in my mind.
Yeah, Belgara speaks
Yeah.
up and reminds everybody of the Amaric situation and would not like a repeat of that.
Yeah, and like I said, Takari will kind of like poke her head up or stick her hand up and with her bow in hand says, "I'll take watch. Don't worry about it, guys. I'll alert you if anybody's coming by."
Takari, you broke up a little bit there, I think.
That's unfortunate. Takari raises her hands and goes with her bow in hand and says,
Still
I'll
breaking
take...
up. Maybe you should type it in the chat.
She sounds fine to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me too.
Yeah, maybe, Nigel, maybe you might want to, like, leave and come back and see if it fixes the issue for you.
Maybe, yeah.
Belgar, do you want to have Ruin read the infernal that's on the box?
Ruin would be happy to read it if she wants, if she offers that up.
Yeah, come into my cell.
Yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah, Belgara will kind of like peek out and like wave you over to the cell because she had heard you speaking up to do that.
Okay. Yeah, Ruin will take care of that for sure.
Once he's in the cell, she like will hand the box over, but he'll see that she's been like sitting on the floor and she has all the notes and the papers like spread out in like a semicircle around her, and she's like picking up different ones and like organizing them with each other as she's like reading through them, and she looks like a little frantic.
There you go.
Oh boy. Belgara kind of like shakes her head and looks at you and just says, I don't know who she could be, but I think I have an idea.
I would simply be cautious with that box. And then Ruin leaves the cell.
She shakes her head and kind of slips the box. Actually, she's gonna look the box over just to kind of inspect it, kind of like turning it over in her hands and looking at all the sides of it. See if she notices anything special about it, maybe, aside from the writing.
There's nothing you would learn from it that's not already been said. So it's a iron box, about 6 inches on each side, has infernal writing, which is inlaid by bone.
Sorry, I had to pee. I'm back.
Welcome back. So yeah.
Aragolsa.
Would she have like heard anything like about a box like this before, or like could this have been something she's maybe read about?
I'll have you roll Arcana. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll be right back, guys.
That was a good first
so,
roll.
Belgara knows is that she has not heard of anything like this before, and it is likely a one-of-a-kind item that was made specifically to hold whatever's inside.
Okay. Interesting. The plot thickens. Yes.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
On this puzzle box, is the rest of the party around while Belgara's investigating it?
I think it was just Ruin and Belgara in her cell, which is why I didn't say it out loud.
Oh, okay, got it.
Ruin's not a sharer by trade. I know that comes as a surprise and a shock.
Very shocking.
Aragelsis has his eyes on Tharmara. I guess she's in the cell right now.
Nigel's taking this opportunity to power nap.
Okay, so we have Agara studying all the notes. Ruin is doing Ruin things. Ergoth is watching over Thalmara. Nigel's sleeping. And Takari, what are you doing?
Takari was taking first watch, which she'll eventually let Ruin take over when she, is tired enough.
And I will switch spaces or switch tasks with Takari because I would like my spell slots back for doing a long rest.
Yeah,
Nap,
I mean,
just a
Takari
nap.
was just gonna, she'll just let Ruin take over the watch, and you can rest.
Okay, so as time passes on, you switch out the watches as necessary. Belgar, are you just going to be studying these notes, or are you
Now
going to
you are
present
vampire.
them to everyone?
I think at the end of our long rest is when I'm gonna come out and speak to everyone, because I'll be able to use my magic again.
Okay, so unless anyone says otherwise, we can skip to that.
Cool.
Cool with that.
Yep, sounds good.
You will. Ah.
Okay, so go ahead.
All right, so Belgara comes out and she's cleaned up all the notes and everything, and she's got a few of them in her hands. And she Sorry, I'm trying to get all the information straight in my brain at the same time because there's a lot. So the first thing she's gonna do is she's going to look to Rhea and say, do you know someone named Flennis, Rhea? Does this name strike a bell with you at all?
Flennis, it does not, unfortunately.
And then she's gonna look over to Thavius and say, do you know someone named Flennis?
He says, I'm sorry, it does not ring a bell.
I see. And Thavius, can you tell us how you ended up in your position of El Tural? I know I've heard the story before, but I would love to hear it from the man himself.
Of course. So the way it went down was there was an invasion of vampires and undead in El Terrell. And I, being a devout follower of Torm, pleaded with the gods for someone to come and save us from these abominations. It was then, after my prayer, that a light as bright as the sun appeared over El Terrell. The light, it burned them, and they died. And the people rejoiced. And they decided, because of my devotion, that I would replace the ruler who had disguised himself, who was in fact a vampire.
I see. It's a very fantastic story that you tell us. At this point, I'm going to cast, oh god, sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have my player sheet up. Okay, so I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts. On Thavius. And as I cast that, I'm going to say to him, and you know nothing of the light and where it would have come from and how Elturel was saved You're just resting on your laurels of a prayer.
As you're reading his mind, you can tell that he is quite nervous at your questioning. And he's saying to himself, be careful what you say. And he says to you, I prayed to Torm, and Torm responded. Beyond that, I do not know.
She's at this point going to pull out the letter from TK to Flennis that's titled in our stuff, Missive of the Hidden Lord. And she's gonna hold it in front of his face and say, this isn't your writing, is it? Couldn't be your writing, right? And push deeper. I hope this works. Work. I think Fabius Krieg is full of
One
shit.
second.
Oh no.
What's your new DC check?
Should be 14. It says it on there.
Okay. Oh. I don't see it. Anyways, you're able to probe his mind further. You can hear him say to himself, I think she's onto me. I should be careful what I say. And he says to you, I can assure you that it's not my handwriting.
It is your handwriting. Admit it, Fabius. This is you. At this point, she's like, got the paper just like an inch away from his nose.
I don't know what you're trying to do here, but it's not working.
It's working plenty.
You can see him grip onto the shield.
Someone, quick, take the shield from him.
Takari will go ahead and reach out and try and grab for the shield.
Ruin will punch him in the head.
That's
I love it.
Far away, but Takari could try to grab it. With
What
the
am I
grapple
rolling
check.
for? Strength or?
Yep, it'll be athletics.
tell me that makes it.
He needs to do a opposing check.
Oh.
You're able to take the shield from his hand.
Takari like grabs it and like kind of like doubles over to like try and like shield her body. Shield the shield with her body.
Do I gain anything else of his thoughts, Duro?
So you can tell he is even further more nervous, and he's becoming desperate. His general thoughts are trying to think of ways to get out of the situation.
At this point, she's going to now pull the puzzle box from her robe and hold it before her, kind of like to her chest, and ask him, "In this, do you recognize this, Thavius?" And I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts again on him.
Okay, I just detecting thoughts, or are you gonna probe deeper?
That's what I did before. That's why you had to roll. Can I continue to probe deeper with the Detect Thoughts already up?
One thing I should have been doing is technically he gets periodic intelligence saves to try to combat your detect thoughts. So I will roll a saving throw.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is after every question you ask him, he will try to shake off the effects. So this is an intelligence saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, I expected him to be more smart.
Hey, too smart.
So he's a priest, so his stats will be higher in wisdom, like a cleric.
Ah,
I think
yeah.
I just got called dumb.
Oh. Himbos are cool. We like a himbo. We love a himbo.
Oh no. Yeah, so if I don't have to cast Detect Thoughts again and I can just keep probing, I'm just going to keep probing with my questions then.
Okay. One thing, when you pull out the box, Rhea will takes notice of this, and she says, "What is that? I don't understand all these questions you're asking Thavius. He's a priest, for God's sakes. Why are you questioning so?"
She's gonna look over to Rhea and say, I don't think you know your priest as well as you might think you do, Rhea. And I need you to just believe in the process right now and trust that I'm not going to hurt Thavius. I'm just trying to get clarification of things.
But he's Elturel's sworn protector. How could he be doing such horrible things that you accuse him of?
I don't know, Rhea. That's what I am trying to learn myself.
What was the question you asked Tavius again?
I asked him if he recognized the box, if he knows what it is. Because I already know that it's an Elturelian. It's like Elturelian from the notes that we have.
You hear him say to himself in his mind, "They have the box. I can't believe it. I thought we hid that."
Yes, we have it. She's going to answer him out loud. I'm sorry, unless you were going to speak more.
No, I actually didn't know what I was going to say next. And he says to you, "You're probing my thoughts. Why are you doing this to me? I'm the High Seer of Elturel."
Because I want the truth, Thavius. And I'm willing to do what I need to do for the truth.
I've given you the truth.
You lie to me, and your mind has told me so. What is the box, Thavius? Interrogations with Belgara.
You can hear him repeat over and over to himself, "Don't say what's in the box. Don't say what's in the box."
Say it, Thavius. Say it. What is it?
Thamara says to him, "Don't say it."
Belgara's gonna look to Ruin and say, silence the woman.
Ruin will grab her, clamp a hand over her mouth. Not gently.
Thank you for distinguishing that.
It was important, I thought.
Thamar's going to attempt to push Ruin.
Perfect.
Even better.
No.
She's
that was a
clearly not
mistake.
smart either.
No, she ain't.
We go in strength or athletics?
So this will be an attack.
Oh, sweet.
No, no.
Even better.
You're able to hold your ground against her push and keep your mouth or your hand against her mouth.
Cool. It's good enough for me for now. Barely.
Jesus.
Davius begins quietly whispering to himself. He's saying, "Don't say it. Don't say it." Say it.
Belgara just keeps pushing him and saying, "Tell me what's in the box, Thavius. Tell me what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box?" I feel like I'm having like a fucking Nick Cage Wicker Man moment over here.
You are.
What's in the
100%
box?
are. What's in the fucking box?
Do we know why Thaddeus would not want to say what's in the box so fervently?
Where he keeps all his secrets.
Is it maybe dangerous to say what's in the box?
Could be.
He who shall not be named, all that, whatever.
That's what it's approaching, essentially. Davius says to Belgara, "No." And then a glowing light emits from his hand,
Oh shit.
and he attacks Belgara.
Bit rude in it.
Is that his attack?
Yes.
Wow.
The bolt of light shoots over Belgara's shoulder and hits the wall behind her.
Belgara's gonna shout, somebody grab him. I'm
that
holding the cube, so I like,
That
I
wakes me
can't
up.
do a lot.
Can well since Reginald is like right there, can Reginald try and grapple him?
Yes! Yes, Reginald!
Okay, Reginald, make an attack.
God, I hope this is a good roll. Ooh.
At this point, Thavius is going to try to run.
Oh no.
Duro, does the attacking also wake up Nigel? Is it loud?
I would assume so.
Okay, Nigel wakes up to see this guy running out. Doesn't know what the hell's happening though.
Thavius has run into the sewer.
Wait, because he ran away, does Reginald get an attack of opportunity?
Yes, everyone who was next to him would get one, but of course,
Yeah, everyone can't take it.
you would have to attack, not, you can't grapple.
Even though Reginald's attack is a grapple?
Yes, Reginald is the only exception here.
Yeah! Come on,
So can I
Reginald, we believe
roll
in
again?
you!
Does that
Yeah.
work?
He ain't going nowhere. Everybody wakes up and is like, what is going on?
As Thavius is attempting to run away, Reginald grabs on to Thavius's ankle and brings him down to the floor.
Takari like dotes and is like, good crap, good crap.
Belgara's gonna look to Nigel and say, "Quick, the manacles."
I guess you could say the crab came in clutch.
Oh!
Heyo, zing!
Jero, I'll go ahead and take a point of inspiration for that, and yeah, I'll put the manacles on.
You already have one. You haven't used it. You can only have
So
one.
forward. How brave.
All right, so Nigel slaps in manacles on the guy, Krieg.
Okay.
Is Thalmara also manacled?
She is roped.
Okay. All right. Makes me feel a little better. I ask that both of them be thrown into separate cells and we lock them in cells.
Is Reginald able to carry him to a cell? Because that would be 10 out of 10.
Yes, you can move. If you are grappling someone, you can move them up to half your speed.
Nice. Well, Reginald will do what Belgara says because he's a crap.
Belgara says to Ruin, because Ruin's still holding on to Thalmara, to gag her before he throws her in the cell. Because she doesn't want to hear her talk.
Nigel's also going to ask, oh, so does anyone mind filling me in on what the hell happened?
She's gonna pass around the missive of the Hidden Lord. I think everybody has that in their handouts at this point.
Yes.
And she's gonna say, I'm pretty sure this is Thavius. This is a note written by him. I'm not quite sure who this Flennis character is, but I believe Thavius is not who we think he is, and he's up to no good. And it has something to do with this puzzle box and something to do with this shield.
Takari, looks back over the note and agrees. Looking over the shield, she hands it over to Belgara. I'm not one for knowing much of the arcane, but I don't know if you can tell anything about this beyond what you know.
She especially shows it to Rhea, and as she walks over to Rhea, she's gonna put a reassuring hand on Rhea's shoulder and say, I'm very sorry that you have to read this letter, but I'm afraid of what this means for Elturel and who Thavius actually may be.
Aragorn looks at her and says, I think we might have hurt him before he hurt us, so we kind of broke a promise to her as well.
We didn't hurt him.
Didn't Rune slap him?
No.
Rhea takes the note and reads it.
Yep.
Nigel reads the note as well. So Nigel suggests, well, if we perhaps deal with these characters here, kind of gives the hand across the throat signal. So we not avert this whole summoning the dark gods and whatnot?
How so?
It appears that those Vanthampur is some sort of leader in all this. We take her out. Wouldn't we not avert the plans, but temporarily cause the plans to stumble?
Something tells me that Vanthampur is only a pawn in this.
Everybody's a pawn in this city.
So our other option then is to get information from her to find out who's giving her the orders.
While people are talking, Belgara puts her hand to her head and kind of becomes weak for a moment and closes her eyes and says that damned shield is talking to me again. There's a devil in that shield. It's not to be trusted.
That tracks with what the note says, this missive of the Hidden Lord.
Takari like leans over to the shield and shouts, "Leave my friend alone!"
Does Rhea say anything to me about the letter after she reads it, Duro? I'm curious her reaction.
She says, I've read the note, but I must be honest. There are many TKs out in the world. Who's to say Arthavius is the TK?
There's just too many symbols that point to him in this letter alone. The shield. He was there with the shield when we found him in an unlocked room that he could have easily left if he so chose. But he was there, standing there. Why? Why was he staying there? And even as I probe his mind, he's worried of the questions that I ask him. He's a deep concern. He keeps telling himself over and over in his mind to not answer me, to not say the answers to the questions that I ask. And this line, this let the great work which was begun in the light of the companion be completed here under the aegis of the dark gods. It was Thavius who begun the great work of the light of the companion. It was him. It was his prayer that brought Elturel II's son, that destroyed the vampires. I mean, it all sounds wonderful and an idea, but perhaps he didn't pray. Perhaps Thavius made a deal. She's gonna look over to Thavius as this thought enters her head and say, Did you make a deal with something, Thavius? I'm not sure if a minute's passed or not. If I need to, I will definitely cast Detect Thoughts again.
You'll need to use it again.
Okay, I cast that again then.
One second. Okay, repeat what you said before. I was typing something.
She turns and asks Thavius if basically if it wasn't a prayer, if he had made a deal with something. Because she at this point does not believe a single word he says. He is way too sketchy now.
Thavius looks down when you ask that question to him. You can tell he's not as nervous as before and more I don't know what the emotion to describe it. He's more calm than before, but he's still a bit nervous.
Okay.
And he says to you, all I know is I prayed to the gods, and they answered.
Do I hear his thoughts?
When he says this, he remembers his conversation with Ruin, and he asked him, is this a benevolent god or an evil god? And I suppose I ask him that while she's reading his thoughts.
So he worships the god of Torm, who is the god of, I forget what the word is. He is the god of righteousness. So a very good god to follow. Thaddeus is thinking surface thoughts, including he says, hopefully that answer will get her to get off my back.
Hmm.
Belgara, whenever you're done reading the thoughts, maybe I have maybe a couple of thoughts on the matter I'd like to share with the party.
Yeah, she looks like she's just like deep in thought.
Well, everyone, to me it seems like we don't have enough evidence to, certainly not to persecute that what is his name, Krieg, Thaddeus Krieg, to death. To me it seems like our fellow here might also be under some sort of duress, perhaps some sort of I'm not sure, but maybe something that happened to do with summoning the second son and all that. Maybe he's possessed by a demon or has been blackmailed or something. I think we might get more information out of. He points to their other prisoner there. Maybe if we ask who's in charge of her, we'll find out who signed this missive, this TK, if it is indeed Thaddeus or not. Because according to this note, it seems that she was taking orders from whoever wrote this note.
Belgara's gonna walk over to where Thalmara is being held. And she's gonna shift her attention of detect thoughts over to Thalmara. And she's gonna look her in the eyes and say, are you working with Thaddeus? Yes or no? It's a simple question. It's a simple question, really.
As you begin to read Belgara's thoughts, you hear her say, great. The witch has diverted her attention to me the matter. She says to you in her voice, no.
Duro, can I roll an insight on that no?
Oh, my feet are
Go
falling
ahead.
asleep.
I'm not great at insight, everyone. So I don't know if anyone else wants to roll.
Well, insight is just seeing if you can read their mannerisms, if you can tell if they misspoke, or other than that, it doesn't necessarily say that they're lying or not, but
Well, there you go.
you try to perceive how she is acting as she answers, and you can tell she did not flinch. She was stoic in her response, as if she was genuine that she does not work for him or with him.
Okay, Nigel shares this with everyone. I don't think that she's lying.
Belgara
Yeah.
shakes her head and she's gonna probe deeper and says, do you work with Thavius? Don't lie to me, Thelmara.
Sometimes people don't know who they work for.
Nigel nods at Aragoth. I've seen it many times in my line of work.
I have to have concentration with charm. Ooh, I do not.
So you said you're going to probe in further?
yeah, I'm probing deeper.
She says to you, your tricks won't work on me.
Damn, she's got spicy wisdom. That ends the spell too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Hmm.
Nigel shrugs and said, well, let's kill her. She's of no use to us.
Belgara sighs and says, she's not telling the truth. No matter what she says to you, she puts on a good face, but she's lying. I know. I know in my heart that she's lying.
Takari is inclined to agree with this.
And she points to Thavius and says, he's not who we think he is. I'm not entirely sure. But it's a feeling. It's a feeling that I have after reading all these notes all night and studying them painstakingly through the evening. I don't believe what he says to me. And that shield's a devil, and we all know that devils are liars. I can't tell whether we should kill them or keep them alive, or if it would affect anything at all, really.
Nigel says, well, my vote, kill the bitch. And we take Thaddeus with us as prisoner. I don't think that we'll have any trouble marching him across the city if we show our badges as members of Orders of the Fist.
Belgara pulls the puzzle box out from her robe again and holds it out. She's like, what I do know is that this is something very, very important. Specifically to Thavius. He knows something about this box that we don't know. It's very important to him. The puzzle, I'm unable to put it all together. The pieces are there, but it's a little blurry. Just know that this box is very important.
The box, the shield, I think they're all connected.
Certainly.
What does everyone else say? What should we do with these two?
Belgara's thinking for a minute, and she looks up and she looks to Takari and says, the song, the elfish song. Do you remember the song, Takari? Remember its words?
Zakari, she kind of perks up a little bit and nods a few times, but says, please don't make me sing it again.
Don't have to sing it. It's fine. Can you recall the words to us?
Takari, she knits her brows together in thought. She says it sings a song of woods and of water, woods and hill. The sun dawns on her ruddy cliffs and fields green and still, this land of long abiding joy. Home of the strong and brave, renowned by all across the realms, and never once a slave. Oh, sing a song of Elturel. When foes are at her door, her fields torn by cloven feet from some infernal shore, arise the mighty Hell Riders. Take up your swift keen swords, and then charge into the hellish fray and scatter devil hordes.
What did you say about shores?
From some infernal shores?
Yes, we
Baldur's
know
Gate's pretty infernal, isn't it?
the story of Elturel and how the devils came to take over Elturel. Keep saying those lyrics.
It goes, sing a song of Elturel and what the night does fall. Sleep safe beneath companion's light until dawn does call.
Companion's light, that's the second sun that was
Right.
brought forth and destroyed the vampires and the devils. Keep going.
We're bound by mortal covenant. The only ends with death. And so we'll sing of Elturel until our final breath. That's the whole song.
Bound by mortal covenant. What does that mean?
Rhea pipes up. She says, it probably speaks of the Creed Resolute. All Elturelians are sworn to protect Elturel, and by signing the Creed Resolute, it is bound to them.
What's the Creed Resolute?
It was the founding document of the Order of the Companions and was created following the Companions' arrival. It's actually a lengthy document prescribing various courses of action, but the real thing is everyone who swears formal oath to the creed pricks their thumb and places their blood mark as a signature, and then it magically appears within the book. Shall I recite the creed to you?
Please, do.
I solemnly pledge my soul and blood and blade to serve as a knight of Elturel, and share the oath of the High Observer in honoring the gift of the Companion. I shall guard the realm of Elturgard and those lands which lie under Elturel's shield, upholding the laws of Elturgard and the commands of the High Seer. I shall live my life in strict accord to the Creed Resolute, placing it and this oath above all other doctrines. I shall be bound to all others who swear this oath, declaring them now and forevermore, whether in life or beyond the veil of death, to be my brothers in arms. To ensure the perfect harmony of our brotherhood, I shall permit no difference in faith to come up between us, but rather hold the Companion, which I shall never attribute to one god or another, as our common star. I've added that into everyone's journals.
Thank you.
Would Belgara know anything about, like, the magic, like the blood magic with the book? Would that sound familiar to her at all?
It sounds very familiar to how devil's contracts work.
And she would know that.
Yes, she's aware of how devil's contracts work, and it is normally signed with blood, just as she described, as she described it.
Belgara's going to look down to the floor, and, like, her whole demeanor is just very solemn. And she says to Rhea, as her eyes kind of scan back up to meet Rhea's, there's only one thing that I know of that requires a signature of blood. Do you know what that thing is, Rhea?
I don't. What could it be other than Creed?
No. That is how you make a contract with a devil, Rhea.
Rhea becomes wide-eyed, unable to speak. She begins pacing up and down the room.
Belgara looks to everybody, to her companions, and says, do you remember the vision I described to you that I received at the reading tree?
Takari kind of looks back at Belgara with a hard stare and slowly nods to her.
Yep.
It was a deal being made with a devil, and a great flash of light. Does that sound familiar to you all now as we talk of these old stories and of the things that are happening now in Elturel with the book?
Takari takes like a sharp breath in and holds it for a moment, nodding again.
Doesn't surprise me that this is going on here in this city. I've been in a city that's not too unlike this one, except this one's even more corrupt. I wonder what they make a deal for.
Yeah,
Devils only want souls.
Yeah, Ruin doesn't seem surprised.
They made a deal to save their city, it sounds like. Celestial being. And at this point, Belgara's walked back up to the cell that holds Thavius, and she's looking at him, and she says, wasn't a celestial being that heard your call, was it, Thavius?
Or maybe it was that angel that made a deal with the devil.
You see Thavius leaned against the back wall, his hand holding him up. He says to you, "Haven't you already interrogated me enough?"
You've made countless innocent people sign a contract in blood to a city that they think that they're defending and saving. You think that I'm done interrogating you? You're a monster, Thavius. Look at Rhea. And she like points to Rhea who's pacing through the cells. Do you feel nothing for what you've done?
What do you get out of it? You're not a devil, you don't need souls. What are they gonna give in return for the souls of the city?
He says, "I did what I had to do."
Yeah, that's what they all say.
So you admit it. You monster. You admit it.
I couldn't let my people die to those undead. What was I supposed to do?
You
So in
think
your mind, it was either death, or, I guess, a soul to pay when they do die? Stave off death in exchange for their souls, is that the plan?
You weren't there.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
I didn't need to be there to know that dealings with devils are wrong and they never go as you plan, Thavius. And still you have them sign books. Books to pledge their allegiance to a devil. The least you could do is tell us what's going on, so perhaps we can clean up this mess you've made. This mess that's clearly here in Baldur's Gate. Are you going to be the man who lets a city fall to ruin? I know you're working with that witch, and she like points back behind her to Thalmara. I don't know what it is exactly, but I know that this puzzle box means something, and this shield with a devil inside it means something as well. Start speaking, Thavius. Perhaps you can repent some for the sins that you've already created, for the things that have been done that cannot be undone.
Thavius turns, hangs his head in shame, and says, I'm done talking to you."
Belgara's gonna turn and look to Rhea and say, I would like to know your thoughts, Rhea, on what we should do with Thavius Krieg. We have found him, and you know the truth now of why he's here. You know the truth of who he is and what he's done. And what he's made you do, and several others.
With the evidence that we have, is it possible we could have him be given to the Flaming Fists? I do not trust them, but I'm sure that they would be unhappy with the way things have transpired.
Belgara shakes her head and she says, I'm afraid there's too many spies in the Flaming Fists, and I'm afraid we couldn't trust them, Rhea, with this man, and I believe that he knows too much and can do much more harm if he's released. I'm not trying to tell you how to handle this situation, but I feel as though perhaps he has outlived his welcome on this earth. Kill him!
Rhea takes a deep breath and says, I think you're right. And she draws her sword.
Belgara's gonna unlock the cage and open it for her.
And enters the cell.
We killed him! Kill him!
Ergoth readies his bow just in case.
She says to Thavius, I swore my life to protect El Terrell, but I did not swear to protect you.
Yeah.
You are what caused this, and I will be defending El Terrell the same. And she stabs Thavius with her sword. Thavius gives out the long, drawn-out breath. And Rhea leaves the cell.
Belgara's gonna step beside her and place her hand on Rhea's shoulder and say, I'm so sorry that this is what this had to come to, Rhea. I know this isn't easy for you. I know that you now realize that you're in a contract with devils. And if there's anything that you think that we could do, or anything that you can think of that would help us on this quest of knowledge to reverse whatever is going on here and whatever is going on in El Terrell, we're going to do everything in our power to stop this.
Well, whatever's in that box, I'm sure would hold some answers.
Box has writing on it, and Ruin was able to tell me what that writing was. That's something along the lines of only she can open the box. I don't know who she is. Would you have any idea?
I don't. Shall I read out the full script for everyone?
Yeah, please do.
The Infernal said, in the name of the Lord of the First, Archduchess of Avernus. This infernal puzzle box shall be sealed forevermore. Whoso shall attempt open this box except by her will shall be burned by the fires of hell.
Except by her will? Is that what it said?
Yes.
Not the will of the person opening the box, I suppose.
At this point, Fauster, who has been completely silent this entire time, says, "We can bring the box to Silvera and Candlekeep, like I mentioned before. I'm sure she would know a way to open it despite its warning."
And what of Thalmara? I can try one last time to interrogate her further, perhaps to find something else out about what's going on here in Baldur's Gate, now that we have a better understanding of what has happened in El Toral. What does the
Takari
party
looks-
wish to do with her?
Takari looks over to Ruin, and then back at Balgara, and then back at Ruin, and then back at Balgara.
Everyone looks
and,
at Takari looking at Ruin, and then back at Takari, and then back at Ruin.
Takari's hand kind of drifts slowly over to her dagger, like, eh? Eh?
Oh, Ruin will totally nod at you in the affirmative.
Takari
Got
looks
my
back at
bow behind you.
Balgara.
Excuse me.
Anybody else's thoughts before Takari draws her dagger?
You got my vote already.
Ergos loading an arrow into his bow.
Nigel, any thoughts?
So the option is to kill this person, or I mean, we'd have
Thalmara
to.
specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Belgara
or-
basically spoke up and was like, I can delve deeper into her thoughts. I have one last go at it if we want to do that, or whatever the party wants to do.
It's worth a shot.
Let's at least do that before we, take that option off the table. Ultimately, I think that we'd be better served if we took her as prisoner, and we also don't know what kind of fallout there will be if we kill this apparently really influential, wealthy person in a city.
It would be a big fallout since she's like one of the leaders of the Council of Four in Baldur's Gate, so it would definitely be a big deal.
Right. So it might not be a great idea. But
Ergoth immediately puts his arrow back and is like, I don't like trouble.
No one's gonna know it was us down here.
I'm saying that the only people who would know would be us. Takari's just like,
Find her floating in the sewer.
Well, if they even find her in the sewer,
Mm-hmm.
back in character now. So perhaps we don't want to kill her just yet. Let's give it another go, maybe at reading the thoughts, and maybe after that, if that doesn't work out, we could pursue some other options. Kind of
she groans and doubles over limply. It's just fine. It's just been so long since I've gotten to do any action.
Belgara looks, she's standing next to all of her companions, and she kind of looks among them and says, I don't know how many questions I'll be able to get through before she blocks me out, so what should my first question be? I feel as though it may be the most important question. Now,
Who
I can tell
opens
you
the
what we
box?
know so far, and that's that this box is Elturellian, and it's been kept here with the Vanthampurs in safety. We know that the Vanthampurs brought Thavius Krieg here and has been holding him here in protection of some kind. We know that there are things happening in Baldur's Gate that are very similar to the events that have happened in Elturel. And we know of Elturel's fate and what has happened there. That there has been contracts with devils made. We have this shield and we have this box, and those are our only tangible objects of this.
What we want to know is who she's working for and what they plan to do next.
Belgara
Right.
looks to everybody else and says, does anybody else have any questions or
I want to know
suggestions?
her final intention with this box that she's been keeping a secret.
Ruin's not interested in questions, so
Takari shifts from foot to foot and says, "Who opens the box?" That's the one thing that Takari is the most curious about.
Belgara nods, says, yes, it's something that's weighing heavy on my mind as well. She's going to approach Thalmara once more.
You kill Thavius after asking his questions, and now you come to me, seeking more questions, and I'm sure you plan to kill me afterwards as well. Is that correct?
Belgara looks at her and says, we haven't quite made up our mind on what to do with you just yet.
Do away with me now. I will answer your questions either way.
Belgara's going to... She doesn't cast anything just yet. She looks at her and she says, who are you working for, Thalmara?
I'm working for myself.
And what does that mean?
Supreme power within Baldur's Gate, of course.
But you already have power. You sit on the council. What more power do you need in Baldur's?
The other three just get in the way.
You would see Baldur's Gate ran differently.
Yes, the colors are so cold here that Council won't let me change them. I was thinking a bright orange.
Come on, Thalmara. This isn't about colors. This is about power.
Power to choose my own colors?
And would you say that you would do anything to acquire absolute power?
Anything's such a strong word, don't you say?
Perhaps not for a woman such as yourself. greed can make a monster of a man, Thalmara. Be that physical greed or greed of another kind.
Yes, yes. Can we get to the killing parts now? This conversation's so boring.
I'm going to... cast Charm Person on her. And that should be a 14 wisdom save. Which is dicey with her.
Ooh.
14 goes to the roller.
Damn. Alright, I'm gonna use my last level 2 spell slot and cast Detect Thoughts. And I'm going to pull out the puzzle box once again and say, why do you have this? What is in here?
She says to herself, that thing again. You could never get that open.
That's what she's saying in her mind?
Yes.
Okay.
She says to you, your guess is as good as mine.
She slips the puzzle box back into her robe, knowing that Thalmara doesn't know anything about it at this point, so she's useless. And she's gonna delve deeper, but change the subject and say, who are you working with? What power do you work with?
Okay, so she gets a wisdom saving throw.
Right. Woohoo! Finally!
You can tell she's calm at this point. She's not, she's not nervous at these questions or the possibility of dying. And she says to you, well, up until a few minutes ago, I was working with Thavius over there, but as you can see, he's dead.
Oops.
Did she say that out loud to me, or did she say that in her mind?
out loud.
Okay. Do I not get any thoughts?
Let's see. So she's thinking to herself. I don't think she's actually thinking anything right now. She's basically saying what's on her mind.
Head empty, no thoughts.
Basically, if she fails the wisdom saving throw, I should at least get like an emotional state and something that's looming large in her mind.
Okay, so like I said before, she is rather calm at the moment. She is wondering when the dagger will come for her.
It's reverse psychology.
Belgara looks at her and says, "You're so eager to die. Is that a part of the plan, Thalmara?"
Not necessarily, but I see where the cards are laid.
Belgara's gonna push deeper into her mind and say, "What do you mean by not necessarily?"
She says to herself, I've already been promised my reward. Death does not matter to me.
So we got a rich cultist here, huh?
What is your reward, Thalmara? Clearly you're doing the devil's work. What were you promised?
I already said to you before, I was promised power.
And the deed is done. There's no reversing whatever you've begun.
That's where you're wrong.
She pushes deeper. How can we stop this, Thalmara?
You can hear her say to herself, they are taking too long. I was promised power from her, and they are just wasting my time.
Who is she, Thalmara?
The statue. You saw it before.
You speak to the statue?
That would be a strange thing to do, but speaking not to the statue, but to her.
Who is she? Who is this she?
The master of Avernus.
Well, sounds like we're getting somewhere.
The Archduchess. She looks to the man from Candlekeep and says, "Do you know the name of the Archduchess of Avernus?"
He says, I didn't know there was an Archduchess of Avernus until just now, in fact.
The people of Candlekeep, would they know who this is?
I'm sure Silvera has studied this in her time. I'm assuming she would have an answer, but I do not know. She is beyond my wisdom. You would have to speak with her directly.
Duro, is this something that Takari would be familiar with?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to say why, but
Okay.
you'll find out later why.
Okay. I will not question you further.
Perhaps the she that she refers to is the one who can open this box. But I can't be certain. Belgara looks back to Thalmara and says, "Speak her name, Thalmara. What is her name?" I guess I never asked, but is the shield, like, does it have, like, the voice of a dude or a chick?
This of a man. That is her intelligence saving throw.
Woo! I can roll one against you, right?
No, that is her save.
It says, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check contested by your intelligence check.
Oh, is that what it
Yeah.
says? Okay, then go ahead.
I'm sure I'm not going to get it because I don't have very good intelligence, but we'll see.
We'll talk later about your attitude.
I'm a charismatic woman. I'm not the most intelligent woman. Still a good roll,
It
though.
was a good roll.
That's a great roll.
Yeah.
Had Duro not cheated and did some dark magic to get a better roll.
Yeah, you can even look at the roll. 1d20 plus 3.
Jayton!
He's cheating.
He's got the
Jader.
weighted dice.
Yeah, he does.
He paid the extra on roll 20 for the weighted
Yeah,
dice set.
That's what the premium is. You get weighted dice.
Okay, so your spell ends.
She doesn't say any. I'm assuming she's not going to say anything out loud to me.
No.
He's reaching for her dagger again.
Yeah, no, Belgara just shakes her head and shrugs and says, "This is how you want it then, Thalmara. This is how it will be." And she walks away from the gate, but unlocks it before she steps away with the keys. And says to the rest of the party, "Do with her what you will. Though I highly doubt she is of any use to us anymore."
Sakari draws her dagger fully and looks to the rest of the group, and if nobody stops her, she's gonna step along or skip along towards the cell.
Ruin's nodding even more in support now.
All right, so Kari she comes up behind Thelmara. Do you want me to roll for it, Duro?
No, she's tied up.
Okay.
And then you all gang up on her anyways.
Takari takes a hand on Thelmara's shoulder, very carefully and swiftly slips the blade into the base of her skull, and pulls it right back out.
Can you remind me of the name of the man that's traveling with us right now from Candlekeep?
Fallister.
Fallister, okay.
I just keep calling him Mr. Candlekeep in my head.
I like that name.
As Thelmara falls to the floor, she says to you all, "See you in hell."
Oh, great.
That sounds great.
Oh,
Takari.
awesome.
Takari waits for the body to drop fully and looms over her and goes, "You first!" Takari's quite pleased with herself at this moment.
Nigel rolled his eyes when she said that.
Takari raises a brow to this, but doesn't say anything of it at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. To when.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Takari. I was like,
No,
whoa.
sorry. No, we're good. Just see you in hell. He's like, see you in hell. He's like, okay.
See you in hell, my friend. See you in hell, my friend. I feel better.
Good. I'm glad. Takari certainly feels better, I can tell you that.
I bet.
She's been itching for that for quite some time.
Belgaro's gonna look to Fallister and say, I believe you should lead us to this woman of Candlekeep. I have many questions for her, and I'm afraid our work would be best done outside of Baldur's Gate at this point. And she looks around to her companions and says, does everybody agree with this? We should probably leave the city?
Takari is ready.
Aragorn is like kind of walked down the hallway to be like kind of away from what was going on. And he says, "I guess I'm not going to be getting paid here anymore."
Yeah, Ruin's down.
Yeah, we need to get out of here. Oh, before we leave, Nigel's definitely going to search the pockets.
Oh yeah.
I was waiting for that. You took longer than normal. Are you okay?
You feeling all right?
Seriously disappointed.
I just wasn't sure when we were heading out.
You find a long, shriveled finger that is red.
Gross. Okay.
Is that on Thelmara or on Thavius?
On Thelmara.
Do you show that to anyone?
No, not just gonna keep it for now. It might be important later.
Gross.
Okay.
How would you like to leave this place? Also, we still have that treasure that we found last time that we didn't divvy out, but we can do that at the end. How would you like to get out of here?
Oh, well,
Nigel?
Fallister never answered my question.
Oh, sorry. What was the question again?
Oh, I asked him if he would take us to Candlekeep so we can speak to the woman he keeps bringing up. Silvara?
Yes, Silvara. Yes, I will certainly bring you all to Candlekeep, though. First, we must stop at my home in Kalmshan. Candlekeep has a strict policy of entering that We present a tome of new knowledge, and I happen to have a recipe book that they would most certainly wish to have.
I believe time is of the essence. We must go and go swiftly.
Before we head out, Nigel's gonna light a torch. So should we torch these bodies? Maybe cover up our tracks. The evidence of the corpse of Thelmara might. Well, the longer we can delay the identification, the better, I think.
Ruin will walk over to Thamara and cast the spell. Would you like me to do that to the other as well?
Very nice. Very nice spell.
Yeah, Ruin will cast it on both of the ones that we killed.
Nice.
Belgara is going to pick a flower from Thelmara's decomposed corpse.
Nice.
Oh, that's a beautiful touch.
That's poetic.
And she's gonna approach Takari with it and hand it over.
Takari brightens considerably and is thrilled by this. And takes the flower and sticks it in her hair.
A worthy souvenir, friend.
Nigel's
you.
gonna pick one of the mushrooms and snip it, and then if it smells good, he's gonna eat it.
Oh, God.
Gross.
Oh my god.
Takari says to the rest of the group, I think that wasn't there like a sewer grate not far by that we could escape through and make a hasty retreat?
Nigel beams and says, "Yes, there was. We should totally leave that way."
While everybody's kind of figuring out how we're going to get out of here, Belgara is going to approach Rhea and ask her, would you like to continue your journey with us, Rhea? I know that there has been heavy news this evening, but perhaps you can help us undo some of these wrongs.
Yes, I'm sure we can find answers. I'm hoping that we could find out what happened to Elturel as well.
Yes, I would like to know what has happened to Elturel. I fear whatever has happened to Elturel is happening now in Baldur's Gate. Also, Ruin, that's a fucking sweet spell.
That's so good.
It's such a cool spell.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a chance to use that.
Plus, Takari gets a sick flower accessory out of it.
It allows us to commit the perfect crime.
It's not a crime. What crime?
I see no crime.
Exactly. On our way out, if we're heading that way, if everyone's good, Nigel's gonna present the red gnarled finger that he picked up off of her corpse, Thalmara's corpse. And he says, "Well, it seems like this might have been important to her. Kind of gross."
Oh, are you showing us the finger? Are you giving us
Yes.
the finger
Yeah,
right
he's
now?
giving us
I'm
the
giving you
finger.
the finger. Yes.
Belgara kind of squints her eyes at it, and I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
On what?
The finger.
doesn't appear to be magical.
Interesting.
Would Takari recognize it belonging to a certain type of creature, Duro? Mayhaps?
Appears to be. One second.
Okay.
I honestly just made up the finger just now, so I have no idea what it is.
Well,
It appears to be that of a chitons or chain devil, who are mostly used as sort of jailers or executioners of the devils.
and Takari would know this.
Okay, so you guys trying to leave now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Are you trying to leave the city now, or do you want to talk to Captain Zaj first?
Oh, my vote's for Zaj. What does everyone else think?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm following along. We've all kind of already made a decision on where to go, so I'm letting the people who've actually spent more time down here, like traversing around and looking at shit, lead us back out. So whatever you guys think.
Yeah. To Captain Hook.
Okay. Let's
Oh,
pull
hi,
the
everybody.
map. You guys leave the sewer area, a place you did not want to go through the first time, but I guess you're fine going out of it. You head over to Basilisk Gate. Where, of course, you see none other than Captain Zaj, his usual post.
Where he never leaves, never sleeps, never eats.
Plot twist, he's a hand puppet, and that's why he never leaves that area.
Also strange how he never eats, too. I think that would tie in there.
No, he
Yeah.
does not eat. You've never seen him eat at all.
Should we offer him food? Does anybody have any food to give him? Is he okay?
Maybe he's undead.
You know, we've never seen Captain Zaj and Batman in the same room at the same time, so.
Don't do it.
Batman.
Don't do it, Wolf.
I'm Batman.
I know.
Oh my god.
You knew it was coming.
Slap him. Somebody slap him.
Somebody
Yes.
shake him.
But I'm Batman.
Love it.
So we're back in front of Captain Hook.
Yep. So you approach him and he says, "Status report."
Argyl's kind of got his arms folded, kind of like dissociated from the group, kind of at the moment.
Oh, wait, he's asking us a status report to leave the gates?
He's asking you what the situation is. He knew you were going to the Vantha.
How did we end up here?
What do you
We
mean?
all agreed to come back to Captain Sod?
I did not agree to come back to Captain Saj. What?
You did. You said.
Fuck.
You said since we were.
Well,
we were
who's
going
stepping up to lie to Captain
just follow
Zodge? Because
along.
I'm not.
Takari will. Takari
Because we
steps
gotta
up.
lie to him. We definitely can't tell him what we've been doing.
Yeah,
We
no,
can't just be
Takari-
like, oh, hey, well, we killed Thelmar. We found Thavius. We killed him. And we killed Thelmar. We definitely can't be saying that shit.
It's fine. Takari will have it completely handled. Nothing could go wrong at all with this. Takari kind of like skips along towards Captain Zodge and points out, look how I have this beautiful flower in my hair. I look so great. And she says to him, everything's great. Nothing is wrong at all.
Oh my god.
And we're doing awesome. How are you? And she beams.
Nigel's like in the background.
Ruin's nodding his head.
Oh,
Like, yeah, that's
no.
that covered it.
I'm Batman.
So Belgara is just like, oh my fucking god, basically, and like walks up next to Takari and like kind of like gives him a nod with her head and says, what she's meant to say is that we're still looking up some leads right now.
Okay, Nigel's gonna whisper to Belgara. I mean, we don't need to divulge everything, but we need to share some information so we can get new leads. Maybe we can tell him about the shield and what we found out. Everything besides the, you know, he kind of like does the hand across his throat gesture.
Captain Zodge looks at the group, unsure what you guys are talking about. He just kind of ignores it and says, well, I'm grateful for your help dealing with the Deadly Three. With the Phantom Person involved, of course, it would have been a political nightmare had the Flaming Fist involved. As promised, here's your payment. Turn in your badges. You're free to go.
Woohoo! How much money do we get each?
You get another 150 gold.
Hell yeah.
Time to
Takari is
retire.
elated with how well that went over.
However,
Ergo was like, what about the badges now?
your meeting with Captain Zodge is interrupted by the arrival of several Flaming Fist soldiers clad in plate armor. From behind this wall of swords and steel steps is an armored woman with a white cloak and graying hair. She says, are these the maniacs who've been stirring up every nest of rats in this godforsaken city? Ah, Captain Porter. I was told you wouldn't be here in Baldur's Gate for another at least 10 days. That's what the city wants you to think, Captain. While the Grand Duke of Avengard is away, I will ensure the safety of Baldur's Gate. She turns to you, the party. I will personally ensure the safety of all the refugees who have arrived here. When you are ready, I'll have transport and supplies ready, and the city gates opened for you.
Belgara kind of blinks and looks at her and goes, where are we going?
Captain Zodge has been keeping me up to date on the situation. Although I don't know all the details, I understand what is going on myself.
Wait, she's offering to give us transportation?
Yeah.
But she doesn't know our plans to go to Candle Keep.
That's what you think.
Belgara looks to her and says, I'm not sure where you think we're going. We still have some research and some looking into to do in the city. But we will let you know when or if we need to leave the city. I appreciate it.
Ergol is looking at her and looking at Belgara, and he says, I don't think she's giving us a choice.
Yes, I dear fear that the remnants of the cult are after you. I do not think it is safe for you to be here.
Belgara looks to her and says, I don't believe it's safe for anybody to be in Baldur's Gate right now. For perhaps your protection is needed here in the city with the people.
That is what I'm here for. I will protect Baldur's Gate with my life. I swear it.
Do I know this woman?
You do, in fact.
Who is
Everyone
she?
else who is from Baldur's Gate would know her. She is essentially second in command of the Flaming Fist, while what's his name? The Grand Duke is gone. She's also the daughter of one of the Council of Four members. I forget the first name. Dillard Porter is one of the Council of Four members, and this is her daughter, or his daughter, sorry.
Belgara kind of like gives like a half bow to her and to Captain Zodge and says, I believe it's time that we take our leave. There's much to look into and much to do. Thank you for your time. And she kind of turns to the party with like big eyes, like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Takari is very eager to agree with Belgara.
Likewise.
Yeah, unless either of them are gonna stop her, Belgara's gonna just keep walking away now.
Ergol's
just
following.
Keep walking. But when you want to leave the city, you can go and ask Captain Zodge to have the doors opened. Also, I should note, it'll be quite a while before you're able to buy items, so if you want to buy anything, do it now.
Ergol wants to get a blowgun. Because he's Batman.
Jesus Christ. I think it might not be a bad idea for us to buy a couple healing potions. Nigel's just quietly trying to pickpocket this woman.
God damn it. This is why we can't have nice things.
Shopping montage?
Cue the 80s music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Jara, Takari's gonna buy 6 arrows. How many gold is that?
Those are 2 gold each, but remember, your item does not require you to use.
I know. But in case we're against something that's resistant to magic, Takari would like to have a full quiver.
So yeah, it's 2 gold each for 20, I believe.
$2 gold for 20?
Oh, sorry, it's 1 gold for 20.
Ah, well, Jesus, I just needed 6.
I have a question, Duro.
Yeah.
If Belgara is from the outer city of Baldur's Gate, would she be able to leave through the gate of where her house, like where her home is located here?
So the gates within Baldur's Gate are heavily guarded and are closed unless ordered to by a higher ranked Flaming Fist member, such as Captain Porter. But once you leave this part of the city, it is open. You can travel around freely.
And as they head out, Nigel's going to make sure he unropes his pony and the wagon.
Oh, can't forget about
Elmer's.
that.
Yeah, Elmer's. He's going to unrope Elmer's, and they're going to be
Fucking pony.
Only the
Car-
finest of glue.
carting the cart around town. And wherever they go, Nigel's going to set up a shop for his budding ale business from his decanter of endless pouring. We also we need to split up the treasure that we found?
Yeah.
Because Nigel's got a magical item. Looks like it's kind of geared towards him perfectly, but I want to run it by the rest of the party. And maybe give someone else the decanter of pouring just to share the wealth a little bit.
I know, it seems like you're making a lot of money for us right now. Doing really
Right?
good.
That's a lot of Electrum.
So we can split it now if you want.
Let's do it.
Okay, so there's 30 Electrum ingots. You guys can do this yourself. I don't care how you split it. Do any of you know how to cast Mending?
Nigel knows how to cast Mending.
Yeah, I do as
so
well.
you can mend that dagger to full value if you wanted to sell it.
Nigel will said by all means to Ruin to mend the dagger. So we got 30 ingots of Electrum and a dagger.
And then some gemstones and platinum.
What if you took everything in your cart and sold it and we just divvied up the money?
Yeah.
That's definitely what we should do.
Yep.
So split, it would be 550 gold pieces to everyone.
Damn.
We're rich.
We're rich.
Word.
So split 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways. That's 110 for everyone. 110 gold.
No, that is added up. Split is 550. It is in total 2,750 gold.
Damn.
Where can I get a blowgun?
Are there any shops in town that would have like interesting, one of a kind, like magical items or anything like that, Duro?
Let me see if they would have anything in stock. Yeah, they would actually. I just rolled 100, so yeah. There's stuff.
Nice.
Let me see
Damn.
what's on it. I had what's that word? Arbitrarily said it's over like 90, then yeah, there'd be a magic item for sale. Let me see what it is.
Is it daytime right now, Duro? I'm assuming.
Yes, it is. So what is for sale is a potion of frost giant strength.
Be kind of funny to give that to Belgara.
What does it do?
It increases when you drink it, increases your strength score to 23 for 1 hour.
Is that because you rolled 100?
I rolled 100 for saying that there is an item for sale, and then I rolled on the tables of magic items, and that is what showed up.
Is that the only thing?
Yes.
How much is it? Does anyone even rely on strength that much?
I'm sure we will later. I rely on distance, however.
I'm probably the only one that does, and it's not like super critical for me. It's probably something that we could use situationally if we like really
Yeah,
get
for
the
like
place,
grabbing people, grappling kind of
breaking into
stuff.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
It will cost 250 gold.
Hey, I'll buy it.
Okay, you bought it. You have many other potions that you don't use, but you have another one.
Yep.
LOL.
Also, is there a blowgun here?
Yes, there are all manner of weapons and armors here.
Is there like poison tip or sleeping needle or ammo for the blowgun? I'm gonna get all that.
Let me see. So there are some poisons. I'll just go with the most common ones. There's serpent venom, And let's see, what would a shop sell that isn't necessarily illegal? Mostly poisons and venom, so let's go with serpent venom.
Okay, I'll pick up a couple vials of that. Some darts.
Those are 200 gold each.
I'll pick up one vial of that. And how about some darts?
Those are 5 copper each.
Okay, I'll pick up 30 of them.
Okay. Does anyone need to buy anything else?
Duro, not just going to do a couple of things here. Not exactly buy an item, but everyone else who wants to buy something, go ahead. I got a couple things I want to do, though.
Yeah, Ruin doesn't need anything.
No, Tahari's good. She bought her arrows.
Yeah, I don't need anything.
So the giant potion was 250 and the serpent venom was 200.
Yes.
And I'm getting 30 darts for 5 copper. Okay.
Duro, when you're ready, let me know.
Yeah, go ahead. What are you doing?
All right, so Nigel's going to buy a second pony and a wagon, and then he's going to hire a hireling, and he's going to start a business called Nigel's and Bibles. He's going to give the decanter of endless pouring to this hireling, and it's going to be like a traveling beer truck throughout the city. And so he'll start a business in here. And in addition to that, he's going to sow a rumor in the town. The rumor being that what is her name? Thelmara. She fled the city because her debts were catching up with her.
How about you remember those forged things that we were talking about before? I don't know. Something about that. Maybe I can like tie into it.
The forged things? What's that, Erica?
Remember we were talking about forging some letters to like tell people about what they were doing. Maybe you could actually, well, you already have a plan, but if it were me, I would tell people like that they left the city because their scheme was revealed about their refugee scam.
Yeah. Yes. Nigel will sow a rumor based on based on the refugee scam.
Okay, so Nigel begins his business.
Nigel's and Bibles.
Nigel and Bibles. Of course, he is.
Amazing.
He went through all the paperwork and getting this registered, I'm sure.
Forged, of course. Nigel has a forgery kit.
Saying that this is a legit business.
Classic.
And you are going to have this guy, your business person, sell beer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan.
I imagine the second pony and cart you got is for us to travel to Candlekeep.
Oh, the second one is for this guy to run his business. My other pony and wagon is for us.
Oh, okay, cool.
Elmer's is for us.
Yes, give me the glue pony.
Can Takari ride in the carts the pony.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, that's all Takari cares about. Her legs be tired, all this running around.
Is everyone done shopping?
I think so.
Belgara looks around to the group and says, I think it's probably not wise that we spend another evening here in the taverns. We should probably go ahead and make way to Candle Keep. We can camp along the road once we get some ways out of the city.
Takari agrees and slaps Eric off on the back and says, "Sorry that you can't say bye to your girlfriend."
Haha!
You know what? I forgot about her.
Wow.
What a guy.
Takari didn't.
I barely even said hi. It's okay. I'm actually excited for a camping trip now.
Belgara says to everybody, with trust wearing thin as of recent between Thavius and Thalmara and all the other horrible things we've dealt with in this city, I think it's best we travel with our group here and no one else. That's including Rhea and Fallister, too, as she's saying that.
Takari nods and agrees.
One thing I want you, I'll say this now since I'll forget it later. One thing I want you guys to think of is why your characters will want to leave in the first place to find out, what's going on. But figure that out for yourselves and let me know. Afterwards, of course.
No, Takari already knows.
Yeah, same.
I'm more thinking of Ruin, but I'm sure he has his own plans. Okay.
It does indeed.
So you guys are ready to set off then to Candlekeep?
Yep.
Hope the city doesn't suck as much as this one.
Road trip montage.
Eric also gonna, I guess he'll get his stuff from the room. And yeah, he's ready to camp. He's ready to go his rangering. He's used to it.
Ballister says, "As I said before, I must travel to my home in El Kashim before we set off. It's on the way, of course, but we must not forget, lest we gain no entry to Candlekeep."
Turo, which way is Candlekeep?
It is southward.
Southward. Okay, thanks.
Yep, so if you open up your map that I gave you, called Eltergard map, you can see it there.
Okay.
Do any of you want to take up Commander Porter's agreement to accept their transportation?
I'm kind of digging Nigel's ponies.
Yeah, Belgara looks to Captain Porter and says, I feel this city would be much safer with you here protecting her. We can make our own way, we'll be fine, but we appreciate your offer.
Of course. Shall I have the gates open then?
Belgara nods and says, yes, I believe we must be on our way. Thank you again, Captain Porter and Captain Zodge.
Captain Zodge gives a motion to the guards at the gate, commanding them to open.
We turned our flaming fist emblems into him, right? We don't have those anymore.
Yeah, you gave it to him.
Okay.
Got it.
Oops.
Oh,
It's
somebody
fine.
doesn't have theirs.
As the Basilisk Gate opens, Flaming Fist soldiers hold back the tide of Eldegardian refugees. You cut a path through those wretched souls, whose wails intensify as the Basilisk Gate closes behind you. The dirt road cuts through the slums of the outer city, past the walled neighborhoods, to the great span of Worms Crossing. Of course, on the way you stop at little Kamshan. Two great bridges meet at a tall rocky island that rises from the middle of Chanthar River. Buildings and merchant stalls line the sides of both bridges, making it impossible to see the river from the narrow, congested roadway that cuts between those structures. Wooden drawbridges connect the two bridges to keep situated atop the island. The flags of Baldur's Gate and the Flaming Fist wave proudly from their fortress. Standing near the bridge buttresses, you see two familiar faces, those of Amric and Mortlock Vanthampur. They appear to be in deep conversation when they take notice of the party approaching.
Oh shit.
God damn it.
Amric yells out to allow you to hear him. Her! I recognize her, the Wood Elf. She was among those who tried to kidnap me, and I assume those are the others who wore disguises. Mortlock, you must deal with them, brother, lest they ruin our plans further. Though we had our disagreements, I cannot let them get in the way of what matters. Family.
Takari groans.
I'm just gonna try to lie his way out of this situation.
Okay, what are you going to say then?
Who the hell are you?
I am Mortlock.
Who is Mortlock?
Mortlock Vanthampur, son of Thalmar Vanthampur, council member of the Four.
Oh, that's cool. So you said that you've seen, points out to Kari, you've seen her before?
Yes, in the lantern. She tried to kidnap me.
No, my friend, that's impossible. You see, this person here, her name is Sarah.
She's a twin.
She just joined us today, and we're traveling south on business.
Takari
So
like
she's-
perks up. Yeah, I'm Sarah.
She's not been with us, or she's not been in this area until recently, you would see. She might look like whoever it is that you're saying, but it simply cannot be true.
Belgara's gonna chime in and say, we have only just come from the great city of Baldur's Gate, who refuses to open its doors to outsiders. They wouldn't even let us inside. So I'm not sure how you would think that we are these people.
Emmerich turns his head. He says, fine. Get out of our sight then.
Nigel says, "Thank you. Good day, Sir Emmerich." And he bows.
Once they get like a little ways away where they're kind of out of eyesight, Takari's gonna like stick her tongue out and like blow a raspberry at them.
As Worms Crossing and Baldur's Gate disappear from view, you find yourselves heading down the coastway, a dirt road that leads to such distant lands as Tethir, Amn, and Kalmshan. Candlekeep lies some 150 miles south, a 5 days journey. You stop.
2.5 days.
What did you say?
I said 2.5 days.
Oh yes. So your ability is in effect now that we are actually traveling. You rest for the day, and you're all sitting around the fire. When it is Rhea who strikes up a conversation. Care to hear a story of El Turel's greatest champions, known as the Hell Riders?
Sounds good.
Lay it on
Takari
us,
likes a
Rhea.
good. Takari likes a good story. She's very enthused to hear this.
Don't we already know something about the Hellriders?
We do.
So it is Takari and Argoth who know their own story about it. They've been mentioned in passing so far, otherwise.
Okay.
They are essentially another paladin order similar to the order of the companion. It was over a century past that the great troubles began. Fiends roamed the lands to the north and west of Elturel. Fields were despoiled, livestock slaughtered, homes razed, and people dragged off to a terrible unknown fate. Terror gripped the hearts of all. The city's cavalry rode across the land, striking down fiends wherever they found them, suffering fearful losses. But it was never enough. For every fiend they destroyed, it seemed as though two more appeared elsewhere. The ruler of Elturel, then known as the High Rider, asked his people to pray to the gods for aid. To everyone's astonishment, a mighty angel entered the city the next day. Prayers of Elturel had been heard, and help had come. The angel located the gate through which the fiends were entering the natural world, on the fields of the dead west of the city. She declared that she would lead the cavalry into Avernus, destroying the infernal host that was amassing there and striking a great blow against the forces of darkness. The High Rider sent out the riders of Elturel, now numbering many thousands, with the angel at their head, riding a golden mastodon. With the great city, the angel and her army charged through the gates. The legions of Avernus trembled and buckled, but did not crumble. In the end, the angel was defeated, and the remnants of her army returned to Elturel, overcome with grief at the loss of this glorious general, but confident that the lords of the Nine Hells would think twice about threatening Elturel. there was a great celebration to honor the valiant knights of the cavalry, who became known as Hell Riders.
Is this the same angel that we've been hearing about that made a deal with the devil?
That is something I do not know, unfortunately. This was many years past.
Do you know the name of the angel, Rhea?
Her name has been forgotten after so long since this happened.
Are we still at the gate right now?
You guys are. I actually don't have a map for the overworld, so I'll just put this here. So you are about halfway already. It was only 5 days' journey. So you'll be there by the end of the next day.
Would you say we've taken long rests in this period?
Yes, you have been long resting your entire journey.
Cool.
But with that, we'll stop here for today. I'll leave you with a nice little cliffhanger. See what happens next time.
Ah!
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Always good.
Thank you, Dura. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
That was a good night.
That was a great one.
Next section will be all the action.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be all RP tonight, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I
It's
was
always nice
excited
to
for
like
a
that.
heavy
Yeah,
roleplay
no,
evening.
I thought we
I
were all
like-
gonna die in the prison.
I like the roleplay stuff though. Like, I like having a whole session of just roleplay and tenseness.
Yeah, it balances out in the end because sometimes it's all combat.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Agreed.
yeah, this is good stuff.
I think last week it was all combat. All
Yeah.
combat all the time.
It was like half of each, but this
Yeah.
one was all no combat.
Yeah, it was good shit.
That's all right.
And
Yeah, that was
Nigel opened
awesome.
up his own business. You know, he's a business owner now, so pretty good stuff.
Takari got a flower. Very important things.
Ruin got to decompose shit. He's really happy.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Uh-huh.
is. I believe it. Takari finally got some blood sport in. She's pleased.
Ruin's so proud.
Oh, good. Well, all right, guys. I'll see you guys next week.
Yep, I'll catch y'all later.
Later.
Sounds good.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.